Physics for Smart Brains. Today we will discuss about how does the tube light works. A tube light was discovered by a German scientist Heinrich Zissler, invented the then tube light. It was named as Zissler tube around 1856. It was further developed by many scientists including Nikola Tesla and Edison. The first modern lights as we see today are result of continuous developments and also in the electrodes around that period. Tube light contains a vacuum inside them, which also contains traces of mercury and argon inside them. The basic principle of a tube light is that when high potential is applied to the cathode and the anode, electrons start coming out of the Hg molecules due to excitation, and thus there is a flow of current due to electronic discharge. This phenomenon requires a very high voltage, but in houses like in India, we only receive only 230 to around 220 to 240 voltages. That's why it's just impossible to get this phenomenon. So, how does this tube light then work? Welcome to our channel Physics of Smart Brains.
Thanks.
Today I have a question for you. As you know that power supply in India in our homes is around 220 volts, but normally a tube light works around in kilovolts. So how does it is managed? What's the mechanism behind it?
Okay, that's my question. So what we can do is, as the normal power supply is 220 to 240 volts, so we can use a step-up transformer which would increase the voltage and could reach the discharge potential of the tube light, so that tube light could work.
Okay, this problem sounds good, but this is not the correct explanation. Actually, transformer cannot be used because transformer will provide constant voltage, which will lead to the tablet will just damage because it will just short circuit. It cannot withstand that condition. Hence, it is not the probable answer. So then, what's the solution? Guys, the solution is the use of starter and the choke coil, which is basically inductor. When the switch is in on condition, the full voltage comes across the tube light through the choke coil in the fluorescent lamp starter. So no discharge happens initially, but as the starter is connected in parallel to the tube light, thus full 220 voltage reaches to it. It also contains some traces of argon gas and contains a capacitor in parallel with it. The purpose of the capacitor is so that it doesn't interfere with the signals coming from other sources such as radios and televisions. When 220 volt voltage reaches it, it just discharges because it discharges at a low potential because the electrodes inside it are very nearly placed. Hence, current flows through it and it conducts. There is a bimetallic strip, and due to temperature increase, that's why bimetallic strips comes in contact, leading to short circuit condition, and the voltage becomes zero, and thus it cools down again, leaving the connection to be disconnected. That's why it's continuously switch on and off, due to which the choke coil or the inductor produces a very high voltage, because we all know that the voltage across inductor is given by V equal to minus L di by dt. Here the di by dt value is very high. That's why the voltage produced is around the required order. That's why we can make a tube light glow. When the discharge occurs, we see the tube light working. During discharge, the excited electrons of the mercury releases UV radiation. The UV radiation then strikes the inner layer of the tube light, which is nothing but just white phosphor. When UV radiation strikes the phosphorus, they create another type of radiation that are in the range of visible range. That's why we are able to see. That's generally by light. That's why this shows that how does it works.